What's up, guys? My name is Adriel Rivera, and I make music in my shed. Joining me today is somebody else who also makes music in my shed, Manifester, Tegan James Pres Washington.
Hey yo, I do be a manifester. That was a good one.
Yeah. He owns Manifest Media, Manifest Recordings. Bro's a manifester for real.
I am.
How's Manifest Media, by the way?
Good. I just signed on a shoe store in Chicago, so that's been cool. That's been really cool to work with, like, because I'm I'd say tangentially interested in shoes. Like, I'm not really like totally interested, but I used to be, and so like I kind of get it a little bit, so it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You have some experience in the shoe game,
right?
So you can kind of like see it from the perspective of a shoe guy when you're advertising for them.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Groover.
Groover is a music promotion service that helps artists get their music heard.
And artists can do that by submitting their songs to playlist curators, bloggers, record labels, and get opportunities that might not have been there before. And so we're going to be talking about Groover today because they actually helped me with the campaign that I did recently. Sorry to just jump into the sponsorship like that. I kind of just cut you off.
we did it, man.
But I'm excited for today's episode because it's the first sponsored episode of the podcast, which is great, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. But on top of that, it's like this is great music promotion stuff to know about because it's honestly surprised me the results that I've gotten from this, and so I'm just excited to share with you guys because it's like new insight for me. Like my eyes have been opened a little bit in a sense.
Yeah.
You know. So first things first, we're gonna talk about how to boost your Spotify streams 136%. So really quick, I want to show you this song. This is one of my newest songs. At the time of recording, this is my latest song. So that just kind of goes to show how advanced we record these songs or these episodes, because this is from last year when this episode comes out. But my song, I don't know where to go. Currently, at the time of recording, it is at 9,220 streams, which decent. The crazy thing is that within the first month of release, right? My songs typically get about 3,903 streams. Like that's the median that's the median between the last 6 or 7 months of releases, right? So and for context, I release a song every month on the 25th. And so from the last 7 months of releasing a song every month, the median between all of those songs for streams, first month streams, is 3,903, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I went with median instead of average is like 4,000 something, but it's because like you have outliers that have done really well, you know, like I have like an outlier that's like 8,000, right?
Yeah.
And so like taking into account the outliers, medians are actually like measuring by median, it gives you a more realistic representation of the data set. Yeah. You know, so I went by median, but if you want to know the average, it's like 4,000 or something like that.
Yeah. Regardless, this is much more.
Right, exactly. Regardless, 9,220 streams is a lot more than 4,000. It's definitely a lot more than 3,903, which is the median, which means that it's a percentage increase of 136%. And this, literally the only difference that I did with this is playlisting. I submitted my song to playlisters on Groover, and this is the result of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool. It's really crazy. And now I want to dive into this a little bit more and like kind of look at where the data's coming from, right? Or like what is causing these streams. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's not playlists specifically that are bringing these streams in. Now, I'm not saying that does not mean that playlists don't work, because like this is something that like I was actually talking to about I was looking at the stats as the stats were updating.
Yeah.
But something that I've come to realize, and it's really been apparent to me with this release, is that playlists, they help you get streams, but they also help Spotify learn where your song fits in the algorithm. If you're on a bunch of playlists that are specifically niche to the type of genre that your song is, so for example, like this song, I would consider like an indie pop folk, indie folk song, right? If Spotify has enough data to classify this as indie pop, indie folk, it knows who to send the song to, which will help your song perform better in the algorithm because more people are resonating with it.
Right.
And it's like it's targeted. And so playlisting actually, from my understanding, helps with that, because when your song is on a bunch of playlists that have a similar sound to what your song is supposed to have, it's going to help Spotify classify the song as like this genre, right?
Yeah.
So when I did my Groover campaign, I submitted my song to a bunch of different folk playlists because I felt like this song fit in the folk vibe, right? In the folk genre.
Yeah.
And also fits in the indie genre as well. Definitely a lot of the feedback I got on Groover was like, I see this as like a lo-fi, and little tangent. A lot of people were saying it was like a lo-fi bedroom pop sound.
Yeah.
I did not get lo-fi from this like song at all in my mind.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people had mentioned lo-fi, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's lo-fi, bro. If people say it's lo-fi, it's lo-fi.
Yeah. More data, man. Now you know, like, what they're seeing as lo-fi.
Exactly, right. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I could use that for the future. But yeah, so I submitted this song to playlist curators that were in the folk genre realm. And because my song was in a bunch of playlists that, had a few listeners and were by other songs that were in the folk genre, Spotify was able to pinpoint that, okay, this song seems folky, seems indie. Let's send this song in the algorithm to more people who like indie folk. And let me show you really quick the playlists that I'm on, right? You can see how many streams I got from the top playlist that I'm on. 265 streams, right? Compare that to 211 streams from this playlist, 111 from here, 90 from here, 79. You can see that the amount of streams that I'm getting from these playlists aren't anything super, super substantial, right? In total, this is probably close to 1,000 streams, which, don't get me wrong, 1,000 streams is great. That's 1,000 extra streams that the song has because they're on playlists.
Yeah.
Right. So playlisting, cool, awesome. But the real benefit is the fact that it puts you into Spotify's like matrix, like data thing that they, have.
Yeah.
And so the more, at least from my observation, the more playlists you can get on that are in that realm of what your song is, the better it's going to be for your song's performance, especially if it's a new song.
Yeah.
Because this song I submitted to playlists right when it came out. I think even it was the night before it came out. So, or like a few hours before it came out. So like I really got it dialed in at the first like moment that the song was out. And again, like I mentioned, this was the only source of promotion that I've done. And so now, because like I said, this song has been getting some traction in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Or some data from the other playlists, it's getting traction in the algorithm. And you can see radio playlists and release radar. These are both algorithmic playlists. And you can see we got 5,345 streams from radio and 1,079 from release radar. So that's over 6,000 streams algorithmically, right? Which is a lot of streams. And now, again, this song is at 9,000 streams within the first month. Honestly, how many days we have left? 1, 2, 3, and we're looking at like 200 streams a day. I might be at 10K by the end of the month of the first month release.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool because, looking at the median of like the last 7 releases, this is well above that, over double above that.
Yeah.
And so, to also put in perspective, this is just the first month as well. Most of my songs will gain more and more streams, like, as time goes on.
Right.
10,000 streams isn't unusual for me. A lot of my songs will reach that point eventually, but within the first month is not the most usual.
Yeah.
I think this song has more streams than the last 2 songs I've released already,
Wow.
So,
yeah.
So it's like, this is doing really well. And I've always known that playlisting like is a strategy for music promotion. It's like part of people's strategies. And I knew it worked, but I didn't know to what extent it worked until I did it myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like looking at the data here, I mean, you can see clearly it makes a difference.
Yeah.
And just to point it out too, like, look at this. 1,241 streams in one day.
That's huge, man.
It is pretty huge. It is pretty cool. So I'm really happy with these results.
Yeah, shout out to Groover, man.
For real.
Yeah, infusing that data in there, like Spotify eats that up.
It does. It really does. And so really quick, let's go over how to actually make a campaign in Groover for you guys who are considering doing this if you're a musician yourself. So, on Groover, well, first of all, you're going to make an account, log in. This is what the homepage is going to look like. Welcome, Adriel, ready to promote your music? Of course I'm ready. So you would start a campaign. Click here. If it wants to load, my internet's a little slow today. And so you would add your track info here. And you can see this was from my last campaign right here. But it automatically will tell you like your latest releases on Spotify. So if you want to use your latest releases, you can just plug them in there. And then after you select the song, we'll go with the latest song. You can, put in more information about it. And so really quick, we'll say no, my track is an instrumental. We're going to just like make this up, right? You're going to make up all this stuff just to make it super, super fast. I don't know what that YouTube link was. What we're going to do.
Who knows?
Okay, so this is the interface for selecting curators now. And so again, you can choose different types of curators. There's playlisters, there's labels, there's blogs. And so if you're trying to do anything with that, Groover's got a bunch of different options here. But you can filter it out depending on what you're looking for. So if I'm saying like I want top curators / pros, right? And I want playlist curators only. Like, I would like take off all these. Look at that. YouTube channels, radio stations, Carissa. So wow. It gives me all these different, curators here. And you could filter by genre, you can filter by country, but Groove is the platform's currency, right?
Okay.
And so when you are choosing your curators, at the end, you're going to be paying for the Grooves, and then whatever the total amount of Grooves is for all the curators you selected is what, you're going to be paying.
Right.
And so,
and how much like on average do the submissions cost, like for the playlist that you pitched to?
I literally only submitted to playlists that had two submissions, or two. It was a cost of two Grooves per submission.
Yeah.
Right. That is what I've noticed. A lot of these playlists are like, unless you're submitting to like the pro curators, like most of these playlists are like only two Grooves, right? And so if you're doing like an $100 campaign and you're doing like two Grooves per curator, you can do like 50 curators, which is a decent amount. That's what I did. I submitted to 50 curators, and I mean, like, that's the result from it, which I feel like, is pretty good.
Yeah.
And again, like over time too, like, the song's going to pick up more and more traction in the algorithm and stuff like that. That's a hope. And so you could very well make that money back over time, with like the streaming. Granted that, you submit to the right curators, that like, you do your research, which is what I did when I was submitting. So once you select your curators, you can describe your project. You can say, I like this song.
Let's go.
But that's definitely not what you would do for your pitch. They actually have on their website, the best pitch practices for your submission.
That's sick.
And so they give you a lot of resources. They're really cool to help you with your campaign. But since this is just a demo, click say, I like this song. Next step, review your campaign. And then once you review your campaign, you can choose, you could add other curators and then choose, your payment method, and boom, promotional codes, all that. There you go. That's how you make a campaign with Groover.
Boom.
So just to like go back to my campaign, right? You can see all of these submissions that I've done, like, the feedback, the promises to share, the shares, based off of my stats. So 47%, or not 47%, but 47 people out of the 50 people responded, right? And so there will be some times where some people won't respond. You have like 7 days of your campaign. After that 7-day period, whoever didn't respond, you get the credits back for that, so you can use your next campaign.
Yeah, which
is nice because that means you don't waste any money.
Right.
And based off of my stats, 47 out of the 50 people, right? What is that? That's
Four.
94% response rate. Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really good. The amount of shares that I got is a 36% approval rate, right? Which is really decent.
Yeah.
I did do some research on what the average approval rate for Groover is, and the average campaign approval rate is 20%. So this was above the average approval rate. And again, it comes down to like knowing the genre of your song, you know, who to cure, like which curators to pitch to,
Right.
and like what's best for your song, right? And also researching the curators, like you want to know like who you're submitting to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all of that will help you get a higher approval rating. And so that's what I did. I put a lot of time into researching and stuff because I did want this song to do well. And so boom, that was the results for real.
Yeah. Now the song's doing well.
It is doing well, exactly. And there's still 3 more playlisters we're waiting on to share the song.
Mm-hmm.
And so once they do, who knows, maybe it'll even do better.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. But that, my friends, is how you create a campaign with Groover. And so Groover overall made getting my music so much easier, or made getting my music heard so much easier and simpler. And so I honestly, like, of all the playlisting platforms on there, I'm gonna be real, like, this is my honest opinion, like Groover made the process like so easy. Like their interface is really easy to understand. Like the whole curate, like figuring out, like finding curators and filtering and stuff like that is really easy. And their support team, like they're good people. Like I've talked to their team and stuff like that, and like these people really do care, you know. They really do care about their platform. They care about their artists. They care about the curators. And so it's like, this is a platform I definitely could get behind. Like it's really dope. And that's also why I was like, I wanted to do some sort of collaboration with them.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I was pretty impressed like the moment that, like, you know, I found their platform and like looked into it and stuff like that. Like it's really cool. And again, like I've tried other, you know, playlist promotion platforms out there and stuff. And they're, you know, they're good. They all do like similar things, but Groover definitely like puts a lot of focus on their artists, their curators, and like wants to make it the best platform it could possibly be, and it shows. It really does show. So shout out Groover. Like, I mean, for real, like they're great.
Yeah, shout out to Groover.
Yeah,
shout out to Groover.
Yeah, and I would love to do more with them in the future. I mean, this is definitely, you know, been a fun experience. But yeah, so that's the campaign, bro. That's it. That's how we did it. That's how we increased our streams by 136%.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Right. Yeah, no, for real. I mean, guys, go check out Groover. Go check out Groover.
Start your campaign, get some grooves, get some streams.
Sheesh. Do you know what time it is?
I do. Do you know what time it is? Is the real question.
Quote of the week.
Hey, yo.
What's your quote? What's your quote, bro?
My quote is I don't know who it came from. I totally forgot to write that down, so I'm sorry to the person that I heard it from. But no is the rest stop on the road to yes. And I thought that was clever. Like it was in a sales context.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get an objection. Like don't let that be the end. Try and see if you can get that into a yes.
I see. You know, it's interesting because like when I was working on my landing page for Black Friday, because I did a little promo for my t-shirts. One of the things that wasn't even just the landing page, like in general with like the email marketing campaign and the landing page, there's a section in there where you answer objections, right? So for the email marketing campaign, for example, like when I was sending out like the automated emails, there was an email specifically dedicated to objections, you know, because a lot of people do have objections for buying your product. It's too like maybe it's too expensive, maybe it's too like, you know, like, or is it like gonna be comfortable enough? Is it gonna last a long time?
Right.
You know, if I'm talking about t-shirts, like for context. And so like with the objections, since it was a Black Friday sale, you know, what if I can't afford it? I'm like, you know, I understand. Budgets are budgets. Like that's why I'm putting a discount on it. So there's answering that objection.
Yeah.
Then like, is it gonna last a long time? Yeah, this is like freaking like heavyweight con over here. Like it's I love the shirts. The shirts are dope. Which, by the way, if you want one, feel free to check out the description.
Real quality shirts.
They're one of my favorite. They are my favorite shirts that I've made so far. Like they're so high quality. It's what I envisioned for my merch. So I'm really happy with them. But like objections, like answering objections, like and helping ease that. It's not necessarily like being like you don't take no for an answer, but you like help them not take no for an answer.
Yeah. You help show them that yes is actually the correct answer. They want to say yes.
Yeah.
They want to say yes.
Right, exactly.
They just didn't know it at the time.
It sounds manipulative.
That's sales. That's what sales is.
But if your product is very valuable and it's like it actually is going to help people, then it's like of course you want people to get your product because you're going to make their life better. So if you believe in your product, it's not manipulative. You're actually trying to help.
All right. Whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say, bro.
My quote is, if you think nobody cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments. This is from Earl Wilson. If you think nobody cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments. Then somebody will care.
Somebody gonna knock, man.
Somebody will knock. People want your money, bro.
Where's my cash?
Isn't that crazy? Money, bro. Debt, money.
Real thing.
And it's a scary thing.
It is a scary thing. It's taking a hold of America.
Hey, but I appreciate you though.
Yeah, me too.
Like if you he's like so confused. If you don't think anybody cares if you're alive, I care. And I thank you for watching this because it means a lot to me. It really does.
Yes, thank you. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys checking this out every single week. Yeah.
You're more than the car payment.
Real.
And you know what else? You're more than somebody who doesn't rate the podcast 0 stars.
Honestly.
Wait, hold on. You're more than somebody who rates the podcast 0 stars.
Yeah.
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 Because you want to rate 5 stars.
You do.
Because it's a great podcast. We offer so much value. And if you're objecting to rating this podcast 5 stars, 5-star rating will make you feel better because you're going to be doing something that helps us. And when you do something that helps people, it makes you feel good. Objection handling. Boom.
There you go. Mic drop. Right. There it is.
5 stars, please. And thank you. This has been
Tegan.
And I'm Adriel Rivera. And we make music in my shed.